On this episode of BTV, we talk about a new bond issue approved by the Board of Education, the sudden and mysterious appearance of toy animals in the hallways, and the return of the Spicy Ramen Challenge. All of this and more on this episode of BTV. Welcome back, Buffs, to the third episode of BTV. I'm your anchor, Caden. For the first time in 16 years, the Wichita Board of Education is seeking a bond to help pay for building improvements. Reporter Terry Tran spoke to the board president to get the specifics.
The Wichita Board of Education recently approved of putting a $450 million bond on the ballot, which aims to support and improve school buildings within the USD 259 district.
We ended up closing 6 schools, and the bond proposal will do more of a consolidation and new facilities for the schools. We're probably still about 4 buildings over what we really need for our population.
Research says this will be a continuation of the higher property tax rate from the previous bond, which means taxes will remain constant.
The last 2 bond issues were in 2000 and 2008, and we are at the point where we are paying off those bonds, and we'll replace them with this new $450 million worth of bonds, and it ends up where your net payment for the taxpayers will be exactly the same.
Those who opposed the previous bonds were upset about the district not living up to their promises, such as the opening of the Southeast Football Stadium being delayed for several years and the closing of schools stirring negative opinions. But this new bond seeks to earn the public's trust back.
That is actually one reason why we are breaking this up into step 1. We want to be able to show the public, here's the promises that we made in step 1, and we want you to hold us accountable to doing what we say we are hoping to accomplish with this step 1.
A public vote is set to take place on February 25th. For BTV, I'm Terry Tran.
Thanks, Terry. To find out more information about the bond issues, visit the Wichita Public Schools website for the official list of plans. Have you noticed the mysterious little toy animals popping up around the school? Reporter Jack Elliott attempts to track down who's behind them.
Hey look, a tiny animal right there.
Sweet. Tiny animals, just like this one, are invading our school. And today, I'm investigating on who's placing them.
Being placed by somebody. I don't know who's doing it though. I don't know where they're coming from, but somebody. To me, it looks like somebody's trying to spread a little joy around school and have some fun.
I've asked what seems like hundreds of teachers, and nobody will spill the beans.
I do not have any idea who's putting them down.
I know people.
No idea. I wouldn't tell you if I knew.
The culprit and their motives remain a mystery. The little animals do seem to have an impact on our school.
I see joy. When I found mine, it made me smile. I put it on my desk. So it's something happy.
I think they impact the school in a positive way. They make everybody's day a little bit brighter.
Impact of, like I said, mystery. I think it does make people kind of happy when they find one though. You know, like I've seen a lot of ducks and I'll pick one up and it just gives me a feeling of joy whenever I see one.
While the animal placer hasn't been found, we will find them. And when we do, we will let you know. For BTV, I'm Jack Elliott.
Thanks, Jack. If you have any leads or information, please let us know. Speaking of animals, there has been another animal roaming the southeast grounds. Reporter Brody Shaw gives us an update on this animal and its disappearance.
At the beginning of this year, there was a new animal that was introduced to the farm.
Actually a male that's been castrated, so it's a steer, and his name is Darby, and he's 2 years old. He's on loan from a family out in Cheney. We are borrowing him throughout the school year so that we can use him for different things.
Unfortunately, Darby had different plans.
We had him in with the donkey, and he was able to jump the fence, so we're going to have to improve our fencing over here on this side, so we will have to do some modifications.
Ms. Farmer wants to expand the farm by adding all types of new animals.
Absolutely. We would like to see, like I say, a variation of animals. We wouldn't mind having an alpaca or a llama. We would like to have a miniature horse at some point, and maybe eventually, as we move animals out farther away from the building, we might get some larger full-size cattle, full-size horses, that type of thing.
But if I could change one thing, I'd say get a milking cow, because the cow we have is just is a male. So if we had a milking cow, I think that would be so much better.
They hope they can bring Darby back soon. For BTV, I'm Brody Shaw.
Thanks, Brody. And Darby, if you're seeing this, please come back soon. Last year, the Asian Cultural Club held their first Spicy Ramen Challenge. The support was so overwhelming, they decided to continue the event this year. Reporter Brianna Tran tells us what's changed about the event this year.
Last year, the Asian Cultural Club hosted their first Spicy Ramen Challenge. And since the support was overwhelming, this year, the ACC put measures in place to ensure the event went more smoothly.
We had people from the bleachers all come to the tables, and so I feel like now we blocked off each part, so the main focus is the contestants.
Originally it was going to be in the main cafeteria, but we moved it to the indoor track because the admin thought it was a good idea for the audience to have somewhere to sit instead of like stand and crowd the tables.
Along with the location changes, they've also implemented a few new rules.
Last year, some people used their hands, so this year we're telling the contestants to use forks instead of using their hands.
Some rules I added this year was just doing like round 1 and 2. So basically for round 1, we had all the participants who signed up and paid compete with everyone. And then after we got all the top 10 people, we moved on to the next round, which was the top 3. And then the top 3 would get 3 gift cards, which is basically the same as last year though.
Many of the participants this year are returning competitors from last year.
Okay, so I participated because last year I did this and I lost, so I gotta retry, you know?
I did it last year, and I think, although I was kind of dying, I think it was a really fun experience.
The money earned from this event will be used for the club and for charity work as well.
I'm hoping to donate it to like Asian communities in need, and we're also trying to help with the shared refrigerator or pantry in the G Hall area.
The event ended with Miss Jimson being crowned as the victor of the second annual Spicy Ramen Challenge. For BTV, I'm Brianna Tran.
Thanks, Brianna. I hope those people are okay, and congrats, Miss Jimson. Longtime English teacher Miss Blyde announced that she'll be retiring following this school year. To honor Miss Blyde, the English department decided to all wear shirts, including her face, for picture day to be featured in the yearbook.
It meant the world to me. I know Miss Fallon, my good friend, put it all together, and for them to wear the shirts on picture day and everybody wear one, it was just amazing. I only have probably 2 or 3 other days that rival just the amount of great, positive, emotional reactions. I only have 2 other days probably that rival that.
On October 3rd, representatives from Latinas in Aviation came to speak to students about the opportunities in aviation and related fields. They hope to pave the way for Latinas and other underrepresented groups into the industry of aviation.
Latina women are underrepresented in the field of aviation. There's a very tiny percentage, and that is exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to pave the way, paint the stories, so that we can get more and more people involved in this amazing field of aviation.
On October 8th, the entire Fine Arts Department held the annual 8th grade showcase. Band, orchestra, choir, theater, forensics, and debate all performed for local 8th graders that feed into Southeast, including CMA, Curtis, and Coleman. On Monday, September 30th, choir held their first concert with the new director, Abby Faflick. Tenor bass choir, Harmonia Dore, madrigals, and concert choir all performed songs in preparation for future competitions. Orchestra held their fall concert on October 3rd with performances from the concert, symphonic, and chamber orchestras. They played songs such selections as Lijiang Riverlands, Across Time, and Salvation is Created. Be on the lookout for their next concert during the upcoming winter season. And Jazz Band had their fall concert on October 1st. 5th Hour Jazz Band played October Rain and Blues in the Haas Flat. 8th Hour Jazz Band played Come Fly With Me, Acronym Blues, and Chameleon. On this episode of Have You Heard, Aiden asks you buffs what you're going to be for Halloween.
What are you going to be this Halloween?
I'll be Batman.
No, the answer is cucumber.
I'll say I'm going to be Frozone from The Incredibles.
Where is my super suit?
Spider-Man.
Are you going to steal candy from kids?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
P. Diddy. What are you going to be this Halloween?
Among Us.
What are you going to be this Halloween?
Michael Myers.
Whoa, look, the paper is floating because of the ghost.
Now on to Silas Chalfant with the sports.
Welcome back to the third Sportscast of the year. I'm your sports anchor, Silas Chalfant, and let's get straight into it. Football ends the season with a final record of 2-6. They gained their first win of the season in an intense game against West with a score of 26-20. Keyshawn Bryant notably scored 2 passing touchdowns in the second quarter to lead the team to victory. Senior night was on October 25th against North, where the team continued their winning streak, destroying the opposition 42-0. This year's varsity seniors are Keyshawn Bryant, Irving Ortega, Kayvon Adkins, Kingston Love, Jamarcus Walker, Jordan Young, Sebastian Aldana, Edgar Reyes, and Henry Hover. Soccer finished their undefeated regular season with a record of 15 wins, 0 losses, and 1 tie, defeating Heights 8-0 with Nathan Calderon scoring back-to-back hat tricks and beating Life Prep Academy 5-2 the week before. On October 10th, they held their senior night against North, where they won 3-2, coming back from a 0-2 deficit at halftime. This year's seniors are Diego Macias, Jaden Pakunkan, Jacob Lacio, Sammy Castry, Nathan Calderon, Armando Dominguez, Osi Mwamba, Emmanuel Shango, Kirobel Alamu, Ben Okorosi, Chris Kircher, and Alexis Esquivel. Volleyball ended their season with a final record of 12-23, unfortunately losing to Northwest. But despite the loss, Alina Ramirez notably had 13 digs and 2 aces. They held their senior night on October 8th against North and Northwest, and this year's seniors are Riley Nugget, Ciara Piazza, and Shari Sanders. The girls' tennis team finished in 3rd place at the G-Wall Championships on October 7th, placing 3rd in number 1 doubles, number 2 doubles, and number 2 singles. At the girls' 6A regional tennis tournament, Mallory Martinez and Lauren Onapom finished in 2nd qualifying for the state championships. Tennis senior night was held on September 30th versus North. And this year's seniors are Mallory Martinez, Lauren Onapom, Junie Dang, Alana Zairath, and Janie Ma. At the Keisha Regional Tournament, the team placed 3rd overall with Alina Lamb finishing in 2nd place overall and Haley Moore finishing in 5th place, qualifying for the 6A state championships. At state, Alina Lamb would place 7th overall with a score of 152. The team would also finish 3rd in the G-Wall Golf Championships, earning 2 medals. Congrats, Lady Buffs. On October 19th, the cross-country team competed in the G-Wall Championships at the Cessna Activity Center as the boys team placed 5th, with Brayden Pollard leading the team with an 8th place performance, and Emma McCormick would place 14th on the girls' side as they both would medal. Let's go Buffs. That's all for the Sportscast. Back to you, Caden.
Thanks, Silas. That does it for this episode. We'll leave you now with some bonus footage from the Spicy Ramen Challenge. See you next time.
Get set, go! Drink the milk. Wait,